Oh, don't look at me like that. Come on, he's got some wigs. You can change your appearance, nobody will ever know. It's a quick 50.
Are you out of your mind? Me? Cliff, what's happening to you?
Jerry's an old friend.
Well, he's not one of mine.
We're here anyway.
You've got a good body. Why not put it to work?
Are we ready then?
My God. You insensitive bastards!
Everything is ready, my darling. Do not be afraid. And we'll be together again.
L-O-L-I-P-O-P spells lollipop.
This sandwich tastes as dry as hell.
And you're not just a funny guy. You're a lame brain, too.
This is all the whiskey you possess?
You should believe in ghosts, P-Brain.
He's a closet! He's a closet!
He's a closet!
Hello and welcome to the jolliest little show, The Doom Show. I am Richard. Folks, over in little tiny Toy Town is Simon. Hello, Simon.
Hello and Merry Doomness.
I'm just kidding. There's nothing little or tiny about Simon. Wow. So, folks, we are going to overdo it. We are going to have too much eggnog, too much Christmas pudding, way too much frickin' mistletoe, which is also really poisonous. Probably shouldn't be eating that. And we're going to talk about Don't Open Till Christmas, 1984. Holy boy, oh boy.
I was going to say you forgot the Granddaddy Purple Kush, though.
I did. I forgot all the formaldehyde sandwiches. Oh, we're still recovering from the Idle Hands episode. That'll lay you out for a while.
Oh, we'll never recover from that.
No, sir. So, this is Don't Open Till Christmas, directed by, I'm going to put this in quotes, directed by Edmund Purdom, who we affectionately around here call Gay Dracula, which, I mean, I don't know when that started, but it just seems fitting. It's definitely a compliment.
Yeah.
Oh my God. We love him.
Yeah, spot on.
But I say directed by in quotes because holy shit, he got fired from this movie.
Was it him who got, because I know there were like 3 directors. Did he get fired or did he just, because I know the second guy, he got fired after like 2 days.
According to the DVD, there's a quick thing where it said in text, it says that he was a disaster directing. And I think that maybe he agreed too, but yeah, they definitely called in some help. And the second director they brought in, whose name I cannot remember, he was a complete alcoholic and he only lasted a few weeks and they had to fire him.
Yeah, there was I think, Derek Ford, he was one of the writers, and then they hired Ray Self to come and finish it. And the other writer, he wrote some of the scenes, apparently. And
his scenes are pretty good. Like the stuff that got replaced and reshot was actually pretty good. But what's really funny, Derek Ford directed frickin' The Urge to Kill that Jeffrey and I covered a while back.
Oh shit! Yeah, I meant to watch this and totally forgot.
Wow. I think, I can't remember. It might have been Ted in the group when I was talking about Urge to Kill. I was like, yeah, it's the people who did Don't Open Till Christmas. And I was like, well, I haven't listened to the Urge to Kill episode in a while, but I think I picked up on that. I don't know. It's been a while. Urge to Kill, that is a mind-destroying film, if there ever was one. So
I will hunt that down.
Present from the people who brought you Friday the 13th. Now comes Don't Open Till Christmas.
A homicidal maniac is loose at Christmas. His target is Santa Claus. No one dressed as Santa Claus is safe. His death toys are a spear, a gun, an open razor, a dagger, or a garrote. Execution by any means. Don't open till Christmas. Some Santa Clauses ignore the warnings. He surely wouldn't attack a woman. Don't Open Till Christmas with special guest star Carolyn Monroe.
Yes, I am. I'm coming to get you.
Terror drives one Santa Claus into a house of wax. Amidst the wax and plaster, a real body, warm flesh, wet blood. Don't open till Christmas.
What possible reason could I have for going around killing Santas?
Oh, none. No.
Yeah. I'm coming to get you.
So, Santa, did you bring me any presents?
I'm not the real one.
Starring Edmund Purdom, who knows there are only 3 more killing days till Christmas. Don't open till Christmas. If you do, you may not see in the new year.
Anyway, we're going to spoil this entire movie, which is sort of impossible because it doesn't make any frickin' sense. So yeah, just forewarning there. So put your Christmas stocking over your genitals, but because you're going to get cold this time of year. So here's the beautiful Don't Open Till Christmas VHS. This is the Vestron Video International VHS cover here from the makers of Friday the 13th, which I don't remember how. I guess one of the producers was one of the producers.
Yeah, it's Steve Manasian. He was one of the backers of it, apparently.
Oh, thank you for picking that up.
No
I
problems.
totally missed that. So it was the night before Christmas, and all through the house, and not a creature was stirring. They were all dead. Oh, Lord. A killer is loose in London, and his sights are set on one target: Santa Claus. Dozens of them. Jolly old St. Nick is stabbed, beaten, and electrocuted in department stores, at parties, and even on crowded street corners. What sort of twisted mind is behind these barbarous acts of violence? That's what I'm asking. What sort of twisted mind, yo? Scotland Yard is sort of on the trail, but every clue points them in a different direction, mainly towards Cliff. The culprit is right under their noses, but will they come to this climactic conclusion in time? What? Don't Open Till Christmas, the gift of terror that just won't wait. Warning, contains explicit scenes of terror from the makers of Friday the 13th. Wow, dude.
Sorry,
I think that's Australian? Maybe it's the Australian VHS. I'm not sure.
Vestron, you say, yeah, I'm looking at it now, and just the picture they have of the poor copper as he's been electrocuted looks like he's, got fireworks shooting out of his dick or something,
Hey, that would be something that absolutely happens in this movie. Speaking of dick violence.
Yeah.
So this came out on a couple different labels. The Avid Home Entertainment was the other one who released this thing, according to IMDb anyway. They released such things as The Manipulator with Mickey Rooney in a thriller. They put out the VHS of Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, The House That Vanished, Impulse, classic doomed show right there from William Greff, starring William frickin' Shatner. Oh yeah, dude, they put out lots of cool stuff. The Psychic by Fulci. This label also put out The Amazing Battle Beyond the Stars, one of those bonkers frickin' Star Wars ripoffs that say you just have to see it to believe it. They released House on the Edge of the Park, The Children, Lamb Baba's Macabre. I could go on. This is seriously Avid Home Entertainment. I'm not going to read you their frickin'.
I kind of cut you off.
Let's see. This was produced by one of the most infamous frickin' producers that ever produced a produce, Dick frickin' Randall, and another guy named Stephen Manasian, and I always read it as Mini Asian.
Yes.
I just can't help it.
Me too, sir.
Dick Randall, man. Whew. Now, it's not so much that he was like as prolific as somebody like Roger Corman or anything like that, but he definitely had a way about him.
On the making of, which, like I say, I saw kind of a abridged version, but I got the kind of gist of it. Like I said to you, I think the people who put together the German Blu-ray, they maybe didn't want to do subtitles for 52 minutes of making of and just decided, fuck it, let's chop it down to 15. But yeah, there was some choice parts, including some with...
God, my brain's leaking already, sorry.
Fucking hell, who are we talking about? Dick Randall. Jesus.
Dick Randall!
Yeah, and I've not even, like I say, I've not even brought the Granddaddy Purple Kush with. Maybe that was the problem. Maybe that was my mistake.
You're sure you're not a gentleman?
Not at the moment, no, it's a bit early. Not putting my green sweater until later, until it gets dark. But yeah, the first time I had seen him, I think, is in, because he's in Slaughter High. Basically, the way I describe it after seeing him in the making of, in Slaughter High, it's kind of like he was Dick Randall playing Dick Randall in some kind of Russian doll, like Inception sort of sense. I can't think how to describe it. He's that much of a character. It's...
Oh, brother. That's amazing. No, I always think of him as the sweaty security guard from Mario Bava's 4 Times That Night.
Oh, God, I forgot about that.
He plays a major character in that frickin' movie. And then he showed up in, what's that one giallo called? Oh, The French Sex Murders.
Yes.
Or he's kind of a blink and you'll miss him kind of a character. It's wonderful. Oh, man, it's the weird shit that he produced. He did direct Frankenstein's Castle of Freaks from 1974, which is an Italian and American co-production.
Mm-hmm.
And I hated that movie the first time I saw it, and I have a funny feeling that the next time I pop it on, I will frickin' fall in love with it, because who is hosting it on the disc I have but Elvira, Mistress of the Dark?
Oh,
so,
wow. Perfect.
Yeah, so I gotta get back to that. But anyway, he just had this way about him, and I'm surprised the bust sizes weren't 20 times larger, because he had a type. And it's bizarre that his type didn't, smother the movie with their giant pairs of Christmas puddings.
If he was, I don't know whether you saw this, but he makes a comment early on in the making of, where there's like a poster of the busty lady on the wall, and he's like, why did you put my wife on the wall?
And the other guy's like, you're gonna get killed. It was funny. Oh man, just a few other things that he produced. So the aforementioned Urge to Kill, the aforementioned Slaughter High, frickin' Pieces, and something called La Casa della Orchide, which I have no idea. From the title, it looked like a giallo, but I think it's a comedy drama murder movie. I don't fucking know. Anyway, but yeah, he produced the Wang Wang movies. I think the For Your High Only.
Yeah.
He really liked to do the get his hands in the fake Bruce Lee movies too. Oh my god! Oh, and The Girl in Room 2A.
Still need to watch that.
Weird. That's like one of the weirdest gialli ever.
Oh man, I need to check that out.
It's just so bizarre. I don't know what to make of it, and then it completely falls apart by the end, but in a really good way. I know we're going to get around to it. I think Brad might have mentioned it. I don't know. We'll get around to it. But Mr. Menagian, but yeah, he also produced this bad boy. But Edmund Purdom, let's get back to him.
Yeah.
Classic Hollywood. Kitties are in trouble already.
Oh dear.
Classic Hollywood dude. He almost reached 100 credits in his lifetime. And he really liked to work in frickin' Italy, which is why he's in so many wonderful things like Antropophagus 2, a.k.a. Absurd, a.k.a. Rosso Sangue, a.k.a. all that stuff. The Fifth Chord, oh my god, I forgot he was in that. Jeez. So yeah, I really like him a lot. He's wonderful. He's just not a good director. And the seeing him in action in those special features... Whew. Wow.
Yeah, the first thing I wrote down my notes from that when he's saying to the lady who, because they show that the filming the Peep Show sort of scene with like a completely different lady and completely different Santa. And it's a real shame for her because she's talking about, how she thinks it's going to be a big break, this and that. And it's, no, sorry, but Edmund Purdom, while he's kind of giving direction to it, he says, showing a photo saying, "Oh, you won't be quite as nude as this."
Yep, and then, of course, by the time her scene's filmed, she's completely clothed. A freaking leopard leotard or something. Oh, my God, so good. One thing about this film is, I love Christmas freaking horror movies that do really cool or unusual opening credits sequences. And after a murder, we have a couple in the car making out. He's not getting very far, and this person is stalking them. Very importantly, he's wearing a Santa costume. Very important. And right before he spills his eggnog, the killer kind of made myself laugh. Damn it.
That was good,
Such an idiot. I'm leaving it.
Yeah.
He's being stalked, and she and he both see that they're being watched by someone. He's pissed off. She says, "I don't care, let him watch." And I'm like, I like her. She's good in a pinch.
Oh, yeah, and his second reaction after at first is just kind of a bit half-arsed, like, "Oh, clear off," and then after it's had this written phonetically, "fuck off."
Fuck off. Oh, my God. So after he gets killed, and then she gets killed with one of those knives that is... I can't tell if they have a blood pack under their clothes or if the knife is squirting blood, but man, maybe that's just British people bleed really easily. Simon, can you clear that up for us?
Yeah, no, this is true.
I know you're a big spurter.
Well, can't deny it.
All right, folks, thanks for listening.
Good night.
It was have a happy time for the Christmas. All right. So then we get this title sequence, and oh my God, this creepy as shit plastic Santa is on fire, and I want to say it's just a really ugly decoration, like, because sometimes people don't know how not to make really hideous Christmas things.
Yeah, it's like kind of a cross between like squashed Santa stroke one of his elves who's, got just some horrific tan to the point of being sunburned, which is appropriate, I suppose, about to set on fire. And also, I've never really noticed before, but it's kind of like a Christmas sort of movie intro equivalent, almost like Halloween or something, or Halloween 2.
Exactly. I think that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And then they melt, and inside him is a knife. A fucking, like a butcher knife inside him. And then there's flames shooting like this thing is gas-powered. It is so weird. I don't know what the hell this thing is. It's great.
It's like it's got a Bunsen burner inside it or under it.
Oh my God. Fucking bizarre. I want one. I don't want one of these. This one obviously has a factory defect. But I want the knife inside the thing. Then we cut to Britain's saddest little disco.
Oh boy.
And all I can say is I wish this party sequence was longer, because
yes.
Wowie wow.
Yes.
Getting like prom night vibes here, but not as, lavish.
Nice little, oh yeah, absolutely. Nice little cheeky cameo from Dick Randall, I think. He's one of the revelers.
Which I never noticed until the frickin' documentary. I was like, But one thing about this is like, this is one of the cheapest films we've covered in a while. Like, this is... They had no money. I have to tip my hat to the frickin' set designer who had all that paper and all that cloth. Where we watched this pile of garbage Christmas movie, a little short film called, what was it called? Santa and the Snow Queen? Oh, Santa and the Fairy Snow Queen.
Yeah, that you posted the image of. Yeah.
Holy shit, that was a one-room feature with paper and obviously breakaway walls. It was horrible. So after seeing Don't Open Till Christmas, I was like, this is what a budget can do. Get nicer paper. We meet Kate and her father. Kate is played by Belinda Main, who I am kind of shocked she ever worked again.
Yeah, she's not the only one, to be fair. Some of her line and readings are interesting, to put it mildly.
She did very well under duress. She was in Krull, which I'm a big fan of Krull. She was in something I've heard of, but I've never seen, called Nightkill, which has an amazing poster. I love that poster for Nightkill.
Let's have a look. Oh, wow.
1980, directed by Ted Post. I need to look into that one.
With starring Robert Mitchum, wow.
The Doctor Who fans will maybe recognize her. She showed up as a character named Delta in 3 episodes of Doctor Who. And that's what I recognize her from is this movie. Hey. So yeah, we meet her. She is trying to encourage her father, who's going to be Santa Claus. And there's a hilarious conversation about how his makeup makes him look like a gay old queen. LOL.
It's the first of a couple of kind of similar comments in this movie, but they're just so kind of. There's no. I don't think there's any ill will or anything.
No malice.
It's just so. Yeah, that just kind of was more old school. I think British humour, just that kind of lack of PC,
They're like, we need to fill this paper with wordlings. And they did it. Her father's played by Lawrence Harrington. Pretty prolific British TV actor. Don't really recognize him. But the most important man in the movie is Cliff Boyd, played by Jerry Sundquist, which is one of my favorite flavors of soda. I love Orange Sunquist.
Yes.
This fucking guy. He's an okay actor, also under duress, like Kate is, in this production. But man, his character is a fucking pile of garbage.
Oh boy, and how.
Wowie, wow. I do not recognize anything this guy was in other than Space 1999, a few other...
It's mostly TV, and he played
Pip in Great Expectations.
Oh right, yeah, got you. 1981.
Folks, next time Brad's on the show, ask him, because this is an interactive podcast. Ask him about how he thinks Charles Dickens was actually Jack the Ripper.
Yes, please do. Yeah, kind of, not to bring things on a bit of a downer, but it's kind of hard to talk about this movie without avoiding at least one of these stories, the other which we'll get to later. But this one involving this guy, I didn't actually know until more recently. Not just one, like I say, we'll get to the other later, but 2 of the main actors in this film committed suicide.
Oh my God.
Yeah, basically, after this movie and another one, like the last pretty much 10 years of his life, he kind of, I think... things kind of went a bit, off the tracks, and he got into drugs, and he apparently, I think, in 1993, I think he threw himself in front of a train.
Oh my God, that's awful.
Yeah, man.
Jeez.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Oh, sorry,
hey,
yeah.
This movie is like career suicide. Oh, whoa.
Well, I mean, God, you do wonder, and obviously, I don't mean to make light of it, but we'll just also try not to go on too much of a downer. So I'm trying to balance it out here. But just sad. Yeah, such a shame.
Very sad. Yeah. Well, thanks a lot, man.
Oh, you're welcome.
So they get her father to act like Santa Claus, and there's this hilarious person stalking the party, wearing what I can only describe as a grape mask. Like, it's supposed to be this shriveled up corpse, but it's sort of like just like a really horrifically distorted grape.
Yes.
And they keep calling it a shrunken head mask. And this person sneaks around the party, and right when Santa Claus is about to give out some presents, he gets a frickin' spear to the back of the head with the blade coming out of his mouth.
And that's weird. Again, you were talking about kind of comparisons to Prom Night. That's like, wow, there's another one right there.
Yeah. It's all coming together.
Yeah, man.
This movie has some serious gore.
Oh, boy.
And I'm like surprised. And there's a few shots in the making of where you can see it was a little bit more extreme.
Yeah, like the, I mean, you do get it in the actual film. You see the blood splashing on the screen in the Peep Show and all of that. But, you don't actually see, I don't think, you see like one shot, I think, of Santa, getting the knife, but not to the extent you do, like say in the making of in the first version of that. But I'm just curious, I'm going to look up on the BBFC whether this went out. I mean, I know it was cut heavily, I think, when it first came out on video, which is unsurprising. Yep. But as I've said to you in the past, I think a few times, it really surprises me, a film like this, after I know it was like Video Nasty's hysteria, and this, would have more, before it got cut to ribbons on video, cinema's probably different, and I can't imagine it got a massive distribution.
Yeah.
It may have even only played in like porno theatres in Soho or something for all I know.
In the States, we had that batshit insanity over Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Exactly, yeah. Well, like same year. as well,
which
wasn't
the producers, of course, encouraged. Where they wanted people picketing so that people would be more interested in the film.
Oh,
At least
totally.
That's how I see it. I'm sure that might be something I picked up in a documentary.
Well, it totally makes sense. Again, going back to the Video Nasties, that of course that just those lists. There's films on that list now. Would people even be talking about or watching or reissuing them on video if they weren't on there?
Exactly. And this with its cover art, with the president being stabbed and the blood. I mean, I can't believe this didn't get in more trouble.
Yeah.
Like, this is just... And you look at this movie, and it's so tawdry and trashy that why wouldn't they ban it? But as we found out from those documentaries and books about the Video Nasties, that it was arbitrary. It was an arbitrary witch hunt of...
Witch hunt! Witch hunt! Witch hunt! Witch hunt! China. Ugh, fake news. China. Sad.
Hey, we're relevant on the Doom Show, man.
Yeah, man. Topical.
We're relevant. We're with it.
Brexit, Trump. I mean, what else do you need?
Man, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm still getting over Walter Mondale.
What? Who?
I can't wait for someone to Google that. They're going to be like, what the fuck?
I can't wait to Google it. Walter who? Mondale? Oh, right.
Mondale.
Oh, right.
What year was that where he was
old old Fritz?
As a candidate from like 84,
yes.
88 or
84,
something.
Perfect.
The things you pick up as a kid that never leave.
Oh, boy.
You. It's one of those go-to names that just pops up into my head all the time.
So I'm on the BBFC website, and I can find like video release dates for this, and reissues re-edited, but just this film and DVD. According to IMDb, it did get a release on Edmund Purdham's 60th birthday of all days, but I just can't find anything about it on this website, on the BBFC website.
Yeah.
Whether
is a little bit, there's a trivia on IMDb that talks about some of the cuts, like a lot of the 2 minutes and 13 seconds were cut.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so luckily for me, frickin' Mondo Macabro did it justice.
Yes.
Now, you got the German Blu-ray, right?
That's right.
How's it look?
It's one of the, and I wasn't really anticipating kind of miracles with it. Just because I don't know what kind of state the elements are in. I suspect maybe it's shot on some kind of cheap film stock, which apparently, with a lot of cheaper movies of the 80s was kind of I don't want to call it an issue necessarily. I mean, it probably helped them out in terms of, saving some money. Sometimes it looks, like some of the darker scenes and some of the contrast and the colours are better. Other times I almost couldn't really tell the difference from, seeing the old DVD. But, I'm still glad I had it. I mean, there were some things I've never noticed, like some of the clothing details. And I don't know that you picked up on this on the DVD, but I don't think until last night I'd ever noticed, and admittedly I was watching some bigger TV, that Caroline Munro has all this fucking glitter in her hair. I don't think I'd ever noticed that, and I've seen this film countless times.
I think I've noticed that either. That's funny.
It is. I mean, it was kind of like, again, oh my God, again, going back to prom night, when I said to you and I finally saw that in HD, seeing the Killer's sparkly balaclava, that was kind of like a revelatory moment. Even,
oh my God, yes.
Even more than that, it was like, whoa.
When you got disco in your blood, it's gonna come out in your hair and your balaclava.
Yeah.
Or your baklava. Oh, and the killer in this sequence, our second Santa killing here.
Yeah.
So clever by using a broomstick to put his or her. We don't know what we're dealing with here because we're definitely going to spoil it. Like, just sticks the mask on a broomstick and completely fools Cliff. He grabs it like, oh, curses. It's bonkers. Love it.
Indeed.
And we got to point out that, Cliff is there at this first murder.
Yes.
He's one of the witnesses. How he stays a red herring through this entire film is just great writing. Like, holy shit, dude. Like, Agatha Christie was like, didn't see that coming, brother. Holy fuck. That's how she talked.
Indeed.
She's now your queen, so yeah, duh. And then we cut to Britain's saddest little police station. This is one of the worst sets I've ever seen. I fucking hate this set. I love it. I love it. But I fucking hate it. It's so dumb, dude. Like, It's basically a map.
Oh, yeah.
A huge map clipped to the wall. And then maybe false doors have been brought in and a desk. And, later in the movie, Edmund Purdom stands in front of the New Scotland Yard sign. And all I can hear is Brad's voice in my head going, "It's called production value, Richard." So wonderful.
Yes. And I'm trying to remember, I neglected to look, see if we've got the special thanks. I could be wrong. I think they may have had some kind of assistance or involvement from them, which again, if so, is completely mind-boggling, really. But
working with con men.
Well, that wouldn't be probably unusual without saying any more. Potentially getting some van turning up to my house and being spirited away. Anyway, let's move on.
You will be missed.
Thank you, sir. But speaking of things I hadn't noticed until last night, this is a later scene in front of that map, but one of the poor policemen, until he's, told to kind of bugger off because Edmund Purdom's he's not really in a great mood. Yesterday, I noticed he's kind of stood in front of a hat stand at one point, and for about 2 seconds, I thought he had fucking antlers or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know why I just did a werewolf noise.
Why not?
You get it. You understand me.
Oh, yeah.
We get to see Edmund Purdom doing some good old police work here. And then we meet his sergeant, Sergeant Powell, who I can't believe is a major character in this frickin' movie, and yet here we are. Played by someone named Mark Jones, another semi-prolific TV dude. And they're just bitching and moaning. One of the things I love about this movie, Edmund Purdom bitching about his boss in every scene.
Yes.
Every scene, dude. He's got to come down on his frickin' boss. I love it.
Let's do a nice impersonation of his kind of upper-class plumbing mouth accent as well.
Oh, yes. I wish his boss had been Mullet from Inspector Frost. That would have made my life much better. But I'm a British mystery cop show nerd, so just if he just said Mullet, I would have been very happy. Would have brought it all together. So his sergeant tells him we got to go interview Kate. So they go to one of the strangest scenes of the movie where Kate is sitting there. She's being an asshole to Cliff because Cliff is being a major asshole to her. She's completely blameless. And she has the line where, "My father just got murdered. I can't concentrate."
Amazing.
Perfect. So then the cops show up and then they crank the music up on the soundtrack so that you can't hear what anyone is saying while they're being interviewed. It is so funny. Oh. And when you watch the behind the scenes, it's a real scene. I don't know what they were doing.
My father's just been murdered. I can't concentrate.
This person who did the music didn't really work a lot, but this is like the most British first name ever.
Yes.
Des.
Indeed.
Des Dolan did the music, and he played one of the cops.
Oh, right,
he played
yeah.
A little cameo.
And one producer credit for something I'm unfamiliar with, The Hereafter, 1983, which is a thriller, apparently.
Oh, that art is weird.
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
What the front door? Yeah, I want to see that shit.
Yeah, the music, from the disco stuff that we've had already and like later to this, would this go under the kind of genre which I think you have referred to before as synth poop?
Oh, yes. This is some of the shittiest poop synth ever. This is great.
Oh, I love it. I would not have it any other way. But there's other bits that sound very much kind of like library music, I think.
Totally. Did anybody do this on vinyl?
Oh, God, I wish.
That would be incredible.
Let's see.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, give it time.
I'll find it. Yeah, give it time. It seems like the people who make these things really love our money, so they'll do it.
Oh, man, I tell you that. I think it was a 3 LP set for Bloody Moon. Even though I'm going to probably have to sell a kidney to get it, I will have to buy that eventually.
You will pay out the nose for a Jess Franco soundtrack. Holy shit.
Man, yeah.
So next we get Santa Brisket, where a Santa is grilling up those chestnuts, which I do not like chestnuts.
Never had one.
Yeah. Maybe my dad did it wrong. I don't know. He loves them, so maybe he has a special way. Maybe he's putting his own special Christmas sauce on them. So Then we get the most important sequence in the movie, the motorcycle delivery sequence.
Oh, yes.
With someone who looks like the killer from What Have They Done to Your Daughters?
Yes.
Oh my God, I was waiting for that frickin' meat cleaver to come out.
Oh man, yeah, I didn't notice that, but I did last night, which I'll get to later, another couple of kind of giallo comparisons as well, which is just kind of appropriate, obviously, given some of Dick Randall's credits, and it just kind of generally plays, I suppose, kind of as one of those giallo slasher hybrids.
Ooh. While it is not a giallo in any shape or form, my buddy Jason and I were watching Malibu Express last night, and I'll be damned if it doesn't have a giallo-style murder with a giallo-style killer and a giallo-style mystery moment at the end of the movie when they finally solve the crime. It's spectacular.
Nice.
If it had had just one or two more killings like that, I would have been all over that shit, man. So yeah, Malibu Express, pretty fucking wonderful.
Cool.
So this package delivery person, I can't see the bulge, so I don't know what gender, but they're delivering a package. And what does it say on the package, Simon?
Don't open till Christmas.
Brings it right to frickin' Edmund Purdom's Psycho Maid. I love her. Her thing is she loves the crime scene photos. She gets off on them. There's a deleted scene where she's literally masturbating with one of the pictures. No, but you can tell she wants to.
Oh,
she's a
yeah.
sicko.
Her eyes are like practically bugging out of her head with glee just to the thought of seeing this.
Oh, yes. More red herring shit happens with Giles and frickin' Kate. Not Giles. Oh, I spoiled who we're going to talk about.
Oh, I nearly got mixed up with that before, yeah.
Dude, Cliff is the red herring. Kate has inherited a lot of money from her dead dad, and so, sure enough, there's a whole thing where maybe Cliff is in on it. But no, let's get to Giles. What the fuck? Alan Lake. Not to be confused with Adam Pond. 78 credits. Oh my God, is he another person who died shortly after this movie?
Yes, 2 months before it was released, October 10th, 1984. He, again, committed suicide.
Oh, no.
Was previously married to, I don't know whether until his death, to Diana Dawes.
Whoa, dude.
Yeah.
Well, when you reach the pinnacle of life, I guess it's okay to die.
I guess so, yeah. I mean, it's...
wow. But yeah, he is an interesting actor.
He is,
speaking of eyes bugging out, in fact, they even describe him, like they wrote this character for him. Every time people describe this guy later, they say, oh, his eyes seem to smile.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, and he's just such great presence, you know. I think some people think he's overdoing it, but
No, it's great.
I mean, maybe if you were to say in the sense of, is this supposed to be a mystery? But kind of, no, really. I don't think it is. So, you know.
I'm going to call from the public here.
Ooh.
Let's see. What do we have to say? Hello? Wow. Talk to you later, Santa.
Ghost caller.
What a jerk. Well, he's the Christmas spirit, so. But yeah, he was all over TV, The Avengers, Doctor Who, The Saint.
And just looking at his trivia, apparently, this is IMDb again, so take it with a pinch of salt, as always. Says here at the top, says he spent 12 months in prison in 1970 to 1971 for his part in a pub brawl. Later on, says broke his back in a horse riding accident, but recovered.
Oh. Jeez.
Yeah. So you kind of wonder, any of the, he sounds like he just had kind of interesting life in general, and maybe, I mean, that kind of intensity he brings to it. There's something almost, especially, I don't know whether it's impossible for me to say now, knowing what I know, about what happened to him, but there's something that feels that's kind of like breaking the fourth wall almost with it. It's really creepy.
I could see that. Man, he tears up this frickin' scenery. He's a wonderful man. So after we meet him, and he's a creepy reporter, by the way, I probably forgot to mention. And he's just leading Kate into answering questions she doesn't want to. It's great. He's got a way about him as far as, really putting people at ease. We get Drunk Santa, the first of many Drunk Santas, shot in the mouth with some serious brains shooting out of the back of his head.
It just, there's a few kills in this which just come completely out of nowhere, but that's kind of a case in point. Just, 2 seconds into the scene, he's just stumbling around all drunk and jolly, and then boom. Yeah, Jesus. And before I forget, aside from just how insanely prolific this killer is, he's nothing if not varied and inventive. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, this is one of the most, what's that word? Varietationist?
Yes, that's the one.
Methods of Kill Tom. Varietationist methods of Kill Tom. I know. Then we cut to Britain's saddest little buskers. Holy shit. So Kate and Cliff have a dark secret, and it's that they're buskers.
Yeah.
But they're very talented. They really inspire people to give them money. Cliff plays the flute while Kate holds out her hands.
We, in Preston Town Centre every now and again, we have a lot of kind of interesting street musicians.
Oh my God.
And one of them is a guy who, on his flute, he plays like kind of a little classical sort of medley, which I know does a lot of people's heads in, but it's more kind of upbeat and at least in tune. And it's just so adorable. He has a little, it's like the dog kind of maybe in Frasier, I think. I'm not sure. That just sits in a little basket in front of him.
Oh my God. That's so adorable.
Indeed, man.
We had a guy who actually had a battery pack and an electric guitar, and he would stand out pretty close to where we live now and just shred on metal riffs. It was amazing. I miss that guy.
We have. I'm not seeing him for a bit, and if I see him and I've got a memory on my phone, I'll have to record you a bit and send it you because it will blow your mind. This guy who looks like. Have you seen a bass player called Leland Sklar? He's a session musician. Looks like Gandalf. I think I shared a meme with him before that somebody did. Says, "You will not bass," or "You will not bass."
Oh my God! Yes, you have sent me him. Yes,
he looks like him, and this guy, he's kind of like shredding metal, but he's playing. It sounds like kind of British rockabilly, like he's singing. I can't think. He's like a genre unto himself. It's incredible.
Oh my God, that's. I'm aroused now. While they're busking, and I want them to stop. His pal Jerry shows up.
Oh, this fucking guy.
Oh boy, as if Cliff could be upstaged in assholishness. We get the frickin' foot and mouth king of the year.
Oh God,
Kevin Lloyd plays Jerry. I was in Link, the monkey horror movie. But yeah, a lot of these people seem to have the same number of credits, like 50 to 60 TV credits.
Yeah, and you look just on the main cast page, just how many of them don't have like profile pictures. It's kind of God, how many of these people died really early? Like this guy, he died 1998. He was 49, and there's a few people I forgot to mention. They died really young as well.
Oh my God, this movie's a killer.
Yeah, Jesus, what the hell's going on? It's not like some.
God, will we survive to the end of this podcast? I don't know.
Well,
Jerry is what you call an entrepreneur.
Yes,
his thing is photography, and he takes some naughty pictures. We're gonna meet very soon. He invites Cliff, but especially Kate, to stop by his studio.
Yes.
He's gonna do some naughty photography. Kate sniffs this guy out immediately as a total scumbag, and she's mean. Okay, he's so nice. So we cut to Britain's saddest little cosplay camera shoot ever, and what the front door is happening. Okay, let's talk about Sharon.
Yes,
Sharon is our boob lady. She's gonna have her boobs out for 98% of her screen time. God bless her. Pat Astley is her name.
Yeah.
And the thing, my eyes went right to it. She was Mr. Grace's nurse.
Yes.
On Are You Being Served? She was his nurse for 7 episodes.
Did you see
8 episodes in 1977.
Did you see what the first episode was that she was in as well?
The Father Christmas Affair.
Yes.
Holy shit, that's so amazing.
Yes.
Was this with the creepy second Mr. Grace?
It
wasn't.
To my utter shame, and I probably shouldn't admit this because I'll probably get deported, I don't recall ever seeing like a full episode of Are You Being Served?
Well, it's one of those things you're missing out on, and you're kind of not.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's somewhat essential, but dude, you're British.
Yeah.
You're going to watch this shit and be like, why? Why do people hold on to this show? And the whole thing is because it was on PBS forever.
Right.
Forever. Oh, here comes our resident expert on Are You Being Served right here.
Oh.
Lieta, The naked lady from Don't Open Till Christmas was Mr. Grace's nurse for 8 episodes. The one who was in the Santa costume.
Oh, yeah, she looked familiar.
What is the appeal of Are You Being Served other than it was on?
I find it funny.
She finds it funny.
Well, you know, I mean, the bits that, well, yeah, no, that's fair enough. I mean, the bits I've heard, like, with, as in Mrs. Slocum and some of the other ones, and, you know, the bits that now would almost be, I don't want to say, like, considered memes, that's kind of the wrong way of putting it, but, you know, are kind of, I suppose, like, kind of iconic. And it is funny, but I suppose, I was thinking it's probably like the TV equivalent of, like, Carry On films, which, again, I've only ever seen one of those all the way through, and you can guess which one it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Frying Tonight.
Exactly.
So Kate walks into this photo shoot and is appalled immediately because not only is she there in the first place, she's also going to be one of the other girls in the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops. But then they break out the Santa costume and she screams, boy. "You insensitive bastards!" And of course, it's like her father was just killed, and usually that turns women on, but not at Christmas time. If this had been Valentine's Day, Easter, definitely a porno movie.
Sorry, speaking of, before I forget, so a couple more things about Pat Astley. One, she was apparently born in Blackpool, Lancashire, which is, you know, not a million miles away from where I am. Was a sexploitation starlet, it says here, and including apparently in some, you know, like what we used to call here blue movies, which is like hardcore porn, which apparently that's what got her fired from Are You Being Served? Not because that she was in them so much because the producers knew, but because one of the flipping tabloid shitrag newspapers over here basically revealed it, so they were kind of, you know, for PR reasons, kind of obliged to sack her.
That's bullshit.
And also, interestingly, she was apparently in another film. Well, she's in a few films, but she was in something called The Playbirds in 1978, which also featured, let me get this right, Alan Lake.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I'll just read you the IMDb kind of logline here. So, 2 detectives are drawn into the world of porn while investigating murders of centerfolds.
Dude.
Yeah.
Okay, mental note to check that out later.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
The movie I've seen her in, which she had a very, very, very small role in, was The Stud from 1978. One of the worst frickin' disco movies I've ever seen.
Oh,
if you can believe that.
Oh, boy.
In the sub-normal genre of disco movies, that's one of the bad ones.
Oh, boy.
Although it is better than The Bitch, which was a sequel.
And that's like this one. That was a Jackie Collins novel, and this starring Joan Collins. Wait, remind me, were they related? I forget.
Yes, I think they were sisters.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't care. You're both fucking assholes.
Although one of my prized possessions is my Napalm Death hat that I bought at the Napalm Death show, and on that hat is my "No, I'm Not Joan Collins" button. So I'm all about that.
What the fuck?
So we see Sharon, and because Kate takes off, Sharon and freaking Cliff are going to run around with Jerry and get some other photographs somewhere out in the world. And they immediately get locked out, and Sharon starts flashing her goodies in public at night, which the cops see them, and he's concerned they're going to think they're a couple of gays because, you know, British police have a very long history of being very sensitive with gay men's rights and the gay community in general.
Oh, and how?
Oh, no. She gets accosted by a killer with eyes that seem to smile, and he threatens her with a straight razor. Very Giallo-esque moment, if I do say so.
Speaking of, again, I was thinking yesterday, I was like, what the hell does this remind me of, this mask? And I suppose it's 2 things. The first that came to mind was The Killer Reserved 9 Seats, and also, I guess, a little bit Alice Sweet Alice as well.
Yes, that. But I think this mask is special. I think this is one they made specifically for the movie. Because it doesn't really hide his frickin' features. It actually accentuates them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's weird. When he leaves, he doesn't hurt her. He just threatens her. When he leaves, he covers his face really creepily. I love that part. It's so
absolutely,
good. So we cut to a scene where frickin' the detective Edmund Purdom and his sergeant pal are interviewing Sharon, and it is a weird scene, and it is obvious that Edmund Purdom is not actually there, because he's standing in a doorway with walls that do not match her walls, and then he leaves, and the sergeant walks in, and you're like, okay, so Edmund Purdom was not there for her shots, he was just talking to someone reading the lines. It's wonderful. Man, this movie is so cheap. So cheap. Wow. And then we cut to Britain's saddest little peep show. Whew, this is a standout scene right here, folks. I love this bit. So we get a horny Santa, which I think everyone can agree that all Santas are horny. All the time. That's why their noses are red and other parts. So there's a girl dancing behind the glass named Sherry, or what is her name?
They have a
experience girl.
Yeah. It's like, what? I mean, we've already said spoilers, but she's the flipping final girl of the movie, and she even has a name in the movie, but that's how she's credited.
Oh my God.
What the fuck?
They say her name a bunch of times, too.
Yeah.
I don't know what. Anyway, probably because they recast her, which I'm so glad they did. No shame on the actress that got replaced from the behind the scenes. She wasn't cutting it. And then that Santa, woof. Wow, that guy was terrible.
We're talking about like how cheap this movie is, and it is. But I kind of, in a weird way, want to see the alternate universe first version of the film, because that looks even fucking cheaper. I mean, Jesus.
Oddly enough, the actor who plays the Santa, he's really good. He's didn't do anything else movie-wise. Wilfred Corlett, I mean, he was probably ashamed to have been seen in this film, which, of course, is a mistake. But he must have been a stage actor, because he's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's really good at playing sweaty Uncle Creepy Man, which is what I actually have on my CV. So they have this ridiculous scene behind the glass. Again, terrible sets. Oh, fuck. It's just a piece of glass. I'm surprised they could afford it, much less break the glass. Here we go. Hello.
Hello, am I speaking with Mr. Sam H. Smith or Richard?
I have never heard of that person.
No, sir. Are you the homeowner by any chance?
No, I don't even know how I got in here. I think I crawled in.
You just crawled in?
Yeah. Have a good time. Thank you. Dude, I hate when they play along. I got scared. I was hoping he'd be like just dead silence when I told him I crawled in.
Oh, man. It become one of my favorite tropes of like... I might have heard phone calls like on episodes with other people on this, but I've been on a few where that might be the best shit, although I love the one where, we had the echo or something? I can't remember.
Yep. That was I feel bad when I pick on these people, but they gotta know that they're not gonna get what they want when someone answers this shit.
If they don't know that, then they have no business being in the job.
He even had my name. Oh, man, that's not good.
Oh, no. He knows where you live.
Hey, that's fine. I don't know
or where
I'm at. I don't know where I am.
Or where you're squatting, as far as he's concerned.
So Sherry is wearing a t-shirt that says TT Decontractee.
Yes.
And I look this up every time I watch this movie, forgetting that I never find shit. I swear, I think it was just this random phrase they threw on a shirt. If you guys know it's like a band or something, please help me out here. She's doing her dancing, which is not impressing the Santa at all. She's like, what do you expect, flash dance?
I just looked it up, and all I can find is TI contract. And then I was thinking, because the look of it, it looks like TT should be like an element on the periodic table or something, but I don't know whether it is.
When you look it up, you get Sherry. But Sherry's played by Kelly Baker, before I forget to mention it. She was in Slaughter High.
Yes.
And she reminds me of another British actress that I cannot frickin' think of. She's just so charming, and she's so bright and sunny. I just love her. I wish she'd done more.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. She actually came over to the States and did one episode of Guiding Light.
Wow.
Horny Santa gets killed, splatters blood all over the glass. Oh, the important thing with her. when she screams, she does this short scream.
Yes.
And then they loop it.
Yes, I love it.
Ah, yeah, man. Oh, that loop is so delightful. They do it twice?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh. There's a scene where Edmund Purdom, detective boy, gives Kate his personal number, and it's so funny, this romance between the two of them, this May, December, or in the case of this movie, August and September, fucking whatever.
It totally reminds me of, similar thing in Pieces with him and Linda Day George.
Yes. Good call. Oh my God, help me. So then, Giles, we have a scene where Giles meets with the sergeant, and he's throwing some shade on Purdom, like, well, what do you really know about your boss? Ba-ba-da-ba. And he's trying to, get this poor sergeant to go along with his weird scheme to help his career, but it's just setting him up for murder later. We get Drunk Santa 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Oh, yeah, I love this. And, he goes past some Blunt Monkey freaks.
Oh, my God. These punks are wonderful. Oh, my God. I just imagine every corner of England is just littered with punks. So he pisses them off and flips them off on his bike. They catch him. They steal his bike. And then the craziest frickin' sequence. London Dungeon. The London Dungeon frickin' wax museum.
Mm-hmm.
And it's totally insane.
This
sequence is cray-cray.
Oh, absolutely. I believe this was one of the later editions, maybe from the third director. I'm pretty sure, unless there's more than one of these type of things in London. I remember going to I'm going to say it must have been the London Dungeon back when I was in college in the early 2000s. And because I'm, a gigantic wimp when it comes to real life horror, I remember, while everybody else was, enjoying being regaled by the kind of gleeful tour guide, for want of a, whatever the hell you call them, who was just telling people about all these medieval torture techniques and stuff. And man, I had to fucking bail the fuck out of there. That was too much for me.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was still an interesting place. And yeah, like you say, the sequences, still the waxworks and all that, always, same with mannequins, always really, really creepy. And one thing I hadn't noticed until last night, Killer at one point is in a cloak and mask, and totally reminded me of another of my favourite Christmas movies, which, I mean that when I say that, people probably think I'm fucking weird, but Eyes Wide Shut.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Classic. The thing I like is that the place is closed, but the back door was open. One of the tour guides, a lady's there after hours, killer gets her, and then she gets killed and is hung up like one of the mannequins, and it adds to that frickin' hilarious urban legend of, what if you had a real dead body in the wax museum? Blah. And dude, and she's beautiful. Oh my God. It's I wish she'd actually been, a character in the movie. So finally, after all this hilarious tomfoolery of the London Dungeon, this Santa gets killed. Was this the meat cleaver or axe to the face guy? Which one was this?
Oh God, yeah. So I got a bit mixed up because he threw some kind of it was not like a meat cleaver, but with the spiked wheel on the handle that didn't hit him. And I think you could be right. It could be. Oh wait, no, because there's a guy who gets a kind of cleaver across the face. That's discovered by Carolyn Monroe.
Yeah. How the hell did they kill this guy? I don't even remember.
Oh man.
Was this the he was impaled on the giant dildo? Yes.
We'll go with that.
Sorry, just talking about my fantasies. So after he gets killed, we cut to Britain's saddest little circus. I don't like the circus on the best of times, but this is the most dismal circus ever.
Yeah, they are.
With lots of great dubbing. Fuck. The ADR that they use to make sure this movie doesn't completely fall apart, which wasn't successful, thank God, is just great. The Santa running around giving gifts. I just want to punch something. I know you guys invented Christmas, but I think that Santa didn't understand it. And I know he's not a naughty Santa, like he's not like being creepy with the kids that he's handing, but this just makes me think of this movie as this like, right, say no more, like this, like the comedy in this, like the body.
Yeah.
Kind of humor is like, it is definitely sub Carry On status.
Oh, it totally is. And you just, again, not surprising looking at the people involved in their credits. It does have that kind of seedy, kind of like, kind of sex comedy sort of vibe. And yeah, also the sort of, cheap, carny sort of gypsy vibes there as well. That doesn't help. And I think maybe even more so because like a lot of scenes, this one being a case in point, they've obviously like ADR'd the dialogue, so that just makes it feel even weirder.
All of it.
Oh, yeah.
So after this horrific circus sequence, we get a double whammy. We get a black Santa and a white Santa getting killed, which begins the trend of groin violence.
Oh boy, yeah.
Santa has, or the killer, I keep mixing this up because of freaking Silent Night, Deadly Night, where Santa is the killer. Every other movie I own is Santa's the killer. This is someone who wants to kill Santas. Oh wait, the Silent Night remake has a lot of Santas getting killed too.
Ah, yeah, that's true.
I enjoy that film.
Oh, me too, man.
He has a knife in his boot, and he kicks poor Black Santa in the dick a bunch of times. That's just wrong. Then he has this weird glove with spikes on it that he uses to punch him to death.
Yes.
So open with that, then do the violence against the crotches.
Oh, yeah, man.
And then the other guy just gets killed.
Is he the guy who, as somebody observed, kind of gets a bit of Fulci sort of eye violence, and then as they sort of described it, is like a egg rolling down his face or something. The eye is
nasty. And then when you watch the frickin' the extras, that eye completely slides down his face.
Yes.
Like they definitely, even with the uncut version, they still wanted to trim that because it's just so fucking awful. Miss Graham can't wait. She has to get back to work. I forgot to mention one of my favorite jokes in the movie, which does not work. It's so fucking dumb, is when she's like, the Santa asks her, does your mother know you do this? She goes, well, I'm filling in for another girl. I'm filling in for my mother. Hey-o.
I think if she just wasn't, kind of like so into it and just like, fuck it, this might just be completely stupid, but I'm going to really try and sell it. It probably, it just really wouldn't work otherwise.
But she's so great. So old Smiley Eyes comes back and he breaks the glass this time and kidnaps Sherry.
Hey, what's with you? It's you.
Kate calls to talk to Edmund Purdom. The maid lets something slip about Parklands?
Yes.
Now, Parklands is a mental asylum, we are told. As if we didn't already suspect our guy. We need all the red herrings we can get. Now, the detective who was already suspicious is even more so because he may have had some mental health problems. That's not nice. Oh yeah, they do loop Sherry's scream when she gets kidnapped again. We find out it's Giles. Giles takes her to a frickin', I guess Britain's saddest little, kidnap hole. I don't know what to call it. And he's pulling her hair, and dude, this scene just is not right.
No.
It looks painful. Meanwhile, frickin' Edmund Purdom gets kicked off the case because Santas keep getting fucking murdered. This is a huge body count, surprisingly.
Yeah, it's over a dozen. I know that much.
Jeez. So then we get to Carolyn Monroe. Oh, baby. I love Carolyn Monroe.
Yeah.
She is a national treasure for the Britannia Isles.
Absolutely.
I just love her. She sings her frickin' song, which is the most sub-frickin' rejected Olivia Newton-John shit I ever fucking heard in my life. Meanwhile, another Santa is being pursued underneath or behind the stage, gets killed, and then he shows up and she screams. Did you watch any of the interview with her?
No, that wasn't included, unfortunately. I think there was another song mentioned maybe as well. Yeah, that wasn't in the one I saw.
She was just so cute. She's just so cute. She has no idea what was going on in that film at all. I mean, obviously, she's only there for a day. then we cut to Britain's saddest little department store, where the Santa, with the cuts in this movie are so jarring. There's this obese gentleman walking around this department store, which looks fucking closed. It looks like a freaking deserted Kmart. Folks in America know what I'm talking about. He's walking around. He's totally leering at this woman who should have auditioned as one of Mr. Grace's nurses. She would have gotten it. And then it cuts to him being Santa Claus. So jarring, I had no idea it was him for the first couple viewings. But he's Santa, and he has to pee-pee, like you do. And then he gets his dick cut off by the killer. There's quite a bit of peeing in this movie, so...
That's true.
I love it. It inspires me to cut my dick off again. Kate visits Perdam, and do not accept instant coffee from that man, lady.
Oh, yeah.
We know what happens there. We cut another jarring-ass freaking cut. We get Giles materializing in Kate's house.
Yes.
Like, Kate's on a date with Perdam, and suddenly she's back at home, and Giles is just in her house.
Yeah.
And he has the weirdest freaking line, dude.
Oh, yeah. What is it? I'm a member of society or something? Is that what you're talking about?
It's so weird. I love it. I love that shit.
How did you get in here?
The porter showed me up. It was cold in the alleyway.
What do you want? You can't just go barging into people's apartments uninvited.
I can. I'm welcome everywhere. I'm a member of society. A very important one, they said.
And then she gets fucking myrtleated by Giles. So she was almost the final girl, but then she didn't make it.
Oh, and I will make a mental note to send you the clip from, I don't know whether you saw this, it's a making of you saw, but where she being interviewed about it basically spoils this. And then it's like,
oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's classic.
I'm playing a girl whose father has been murdered by somebody. We don't know who. I'm not telling. And she goes through various emotions of being frightfully unhappy. And she gets murdered at the end. Oops.
Damn it. Yeah, I was being a naughty boy and fast-forwarding through this.
Oh, it's understandable.
It was just a little tired. But yeah, folks, if you can track down the frickin' that Mondo DVD. I don't know if they ever did a Blu-ray of it. I think there was...
No, I would have...
Before they got into the Blu-rays as heavily.
Yeah, I had a look, because I would have ordered that otherwise. But yeah, like I say, I went with this German one. Apparently there's a Spanish Blu-ray as well, which has a making of, and I don't know whether that was a shortened one or whether it was the full thing. I'll probably just have to buy all of these releases eventually.
Dude,
unless somebody... I read somewhere, I don't know if this is true, it's probably like Wikipedia or something, that this might be technically in the public domain, which surely can't be right, but maybe it is. But I mean, Jesus Christ, somebody, like Arrow or 88 Films or Vinegar Syndrome, please put out a fucking proper Blu-ray of this film, take my money.
Yeah, there's a few rip-off, it's definitely... Not definitely. It's got to be in the public domain.
It would make sense. Yeah.
Even Mutant Sorority Pictures has released it, and that's they always pick up all those titles.
Oh wow!
But it looks like you could still easily acquire the Mondo Macabro one for pretty reasonable. So I highly recommend that shit. Not that I want to spoil how I feel about this movie. After this, we cut to Britain's saddest little junkyard. Where our sergeant has figured out that Giles is up to no good, so he tries to corner him in one of the weirdest deaths in this frickin' movie. Dude, this is weird. I don't know what to make of this shit. They're running around the junkyard, and then Giles hooks up a battery to a car.
Yeah.
Now, if he'd done this with I didn't see. I honestly have no idea what's going on in this scene, but if he'd hooked it up to an actual thing that could electrocute someone to death, and it would make sense. But this car lights up like Christmas. And our poor sergeant is killed for trying to do the right thing or advance his career or both. Sherry tries to escape once, and then we get a flashback. We get the crux of the movie, which I am like, did they see Christmas Evil?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
this just reminds me of that so much.
And the other one, I think it was sort of memeing about recently. There's a shot in it which just totally deep red all over.
So we found out young Giles was a very happy Christmas boy, and his younger brother of Edmund Purdom, of course. They're related. He gets a frickin' the little most innocent frickin' thing that you can give a young boy, which is a frickin' a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
And he immediately starts mimic stabbing the air with it and staring at it. He almost, if he'd done the like little like the little lip tremble, because I always give that a voice whenever we're watching Deep Red.
Yes.
Whenever his lip is trembling, he's holding the bloody knife, I just go whoa, 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 whoa. Anyway, so yeah, dude, that was some epic Simon shit there, posting that as Deep Red. I love that.
Oh, well, thank you, sir.
Oh boy. So then we see Daddy likes to dress as Santa and have a go at who I'm presuming is the maid. Maybe it's the same maid that was Edmund Purdom's maid. Hey, kept her around.
Well, the plot thickens, but
I fucking love this whole the the look on Mom's face when she catches her husband.
Oh boy,
like this sort of like horror / resignation, disappointment. Oh, tell Lietta looks at me. Whenever I get into the ice cream, she's like, "Oh fuck." I go at it like that dad went after the maid.
Oh boy. But yeah, another there's two more probably at least. But yeah, two definitely more Giallo connections I only really noticed last night. The first one here being totally making me think of Perfume of the Lady in Black. And oh yeah, because just before this, that's when the Giles he got dispatched, didn't he? Sort of in a way that kind of reminds me of the end of Case of the Bloody Iris.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. I like that. I hadn't thought of that.
But he's kind of, you'd thought he'd kind of crashed to his death, and Sherry goes down to check, and I think that's when you get that kind of Carrie moment or what have you, and yeah, I think is that when we launch into this wonderful flashback.
Yeah, when Sherry, I get mixed up when these fucking things happen.
Oh
but yeah,
no, that's
you think Sherry's gonna make it, and it's like,
yeah,
but yeah, no, it's so good though. In the flashback, when the mother, when Giles and Ian, as he's known in the movie, when their mother goes flying down the stairs, that staircase reminds me so much of the one in Norman J. Warren's Terror. I don't know what it is about that staircase.
God, speaking of films that are on the top of my list to see, I think I mentioned to you without going. I know.
Oh my God.
I've seen some kind of, now the Blu-ray's out there, I'm kind of content to wait for that because I've seen some kind of not so good copies about it, but I'm just going to wait. I was saying to either you or Brad or maybe to both that, any money I might get this Christmas, if I don't get fucking coal or what have you, I could easily bankrupt myself at the moment on the high street just on British horror alone.
Dude, I bet.
And that Norman J. Warren Indicator set's a case in point.
Yes.
I think that's like about 45, 50 quid or something.
Man, no, the Terror is one of those weird, I have a weird history of that movie. I hated it the first time I saw it. I was so weird at the time. I guess I was just really snooty or something. I don't know what was wrong with me. And I just was like, ugh, bleh, bleh. And then Brad was like, what? I was like, I hate Terror. And he's like, okay. And he's like, you need to see it again, man. I'm like, okay. Gave it another shot and it blew my fucking mind.
Nice.
All I could think of was like, oh, I guess I had the broomstick you see in the movie that was up my ass, up to the bristles apparently. So when I had that removed, I felt much better. I could sit more comfortably and enjoy a film. That's why it's red. That's why the handle's so red. Oh no, wait, that's the spear. I also have that up my ass. Lots of stuff up my ass.
Getting crowded.
Getting crowded.
Oh, now I'm flashing back to Nightmare on Elm Street too, the bit
of...
Oh,
no!
Schneider, the glove! It all got mixed up there.
Woo! Wow, dude.
Yep.
So yes, we talked about Sherry getting gotten, which makes me the saddest person ever. Giles presumably dead. And then we finally get to the don't open till Christmas part of the movie.
Yeah, and speaking of kind of confusing cuts, he kind of wakes up from a dream. So were to presume, well, yeah, I
Right.
guess that, yeah, it's his flashback.
Oh.
I think I still get a bit confused.
I hadn't
with
even
this.
thought of that. That's so true. So, man, good call. Edmund Purdom wakes up on Christmas morn and decides to open that present, and it fucking explodes. It's a little music box that blows up, and they did the awesome thing where, of course, the side of his face has already got the makeup all over it, and he just falls over. And, yeah, dude, they so wasted the makeup. In the making of, the makeup is grotesque.
Yes.
It looks so good, and all these layers, and just perfect, and then they barely even show it in the freaking movie.
Yeah, it's like a second or two, and then it's like slow fade to black, and that's it.
Yep, that's it. And here we are at the end of Don't Open Till Christmas. Good Lord. Wowie, wow.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm just looking at some of the cast here to see if I missed anything exciting. Alan Berkshaw, one of the writers. He also wrote a movie I've yet to see called Killer's Moon.
Yeah,
I've been avoiding it because I heard it gets a little rapey.
Right, fair
I
enough.
don't know if that's a huge part of the movie or not, but he was a director. Oh, I'm sorry, he directed Killer's Moon. I think I said that.
Yeah.
He also directed the 89 version of House of Usher with a very drunk looking Oliver Reed based on the cover art.
And God, speaking of Poe, he also did one same year, apparently, Mask of the Red Death. What the heck?
And that was the one with Frank Stallone. Oh my God. But okay, this cast: Frank Stallone, Brenda Vaccaro, Herbert Lom. What? I always mix that one up with the, wasn't there yet another Mask of the Red Death? Yeah, there was the other Mask of the Red Death with frickin' Patrick McNee. Excuse me.
Oh,
with
right.
Patrick McNee. What the fuck? That is so funny. I guess they remembered the 60s and how popular those were, and then they didn't do so good. Nice try, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I should just bite the bullet and frickin' watch that Killer's Moon one of these days.
Go for it.
I always mix it up with that slasher that's around the same year that's in 3D. Silent Madness.
Oh, yes.
That I have still never seen. I haven't seen either of those. Silent Madness was 84.
That's right.
And so yeah, they shot it in 3D, and then I don't think the 3D copy exists anymore. And it just looks weird because, of course, it's, 3D movies that when they abandon the 3D, they always just look really strange.
Yeah.
Do you have any other notes you wanted to say about this movie before we get to how we truly, deeply feel about it?
Because I didn't even realize we'd done it. We could have gone old school Doom Show 1.0, on the
I
on this
decided to use all my notes that were totally useless, and here we are.
Fuck it, why not? Why not? Oh, for whatever reason, Alan Birkinshaw, he credited as Al McGowan, because I had in my notes, like, Al McGowan, I wonder any relation, to...
That would be awesome.
But no, I guess that's just his way of tipping his hat there. Right. Edmund Purdom, he says... he became interested in horror and suspense ever since one of his wives tried to kill him with a hairdryer in the bath.
Thank you for picking up on that story. What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, holy cow.
Weird.
Yeah, I think we need to know more about that.
Yeah, let's get that police report.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it's on Smoking Gun or something.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this page, and I'm glad to see this actually has included on it the under other companies some of the thanks I was looking for before that I couldn't find on the credits. So yeah, we have the London Dungeon, of course, Kensington Gore, which I believe that's the name for the kind of sort of famous like type of blood, I think. British Rail Travellers Fair, which I think that is probably, they have like restaurants or pubs in like railway station. That's probably that.
Oh, yeah.
Piccadilly Theatre. And as I thought, Scotland Yard.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's adorable. So, Simon, how do you feel about not opening things until Christmas?
Well, yeah, I can live with that, but yeah, this movie, God, I fucking adore it. It's right up there with, like my, all-time favorite Christmas horror movies of, like To All a Good Night, of course.
Yeah, boy, which we covered last year.
Yeah. And Silent Night, Bloody Night, and God, I'm probably forgetting tons of them now, but you get the idea. It's right up there. And I will, I watched it last night. I will probably watch it at least once, if not twice more, before this month is through, especially now I've got that Blu-ray, yeah.
Hell yeah. But no, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I think this is an essential Christmas slasher.
Yes.
I would be very depressed if I'd forgotten this somehow during the holidays. So yeah, there's a possibility I too will sneak in another viewing of this before the end of the season. But it is a confusing, confounding mess. The editing is completely broken. This is the very definition of too many cooks in the kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
The budget is paltry. It's pathetic how cheap this movie is. And like I said, it is tawdry and that ribaldry style of humor that's, I think I'm using the word right, is just so corny and great.
Oh, I love it. It's kind of like the, for want of a better comparison, like kind of an anti-Downton Abbey or something like that.
Yes.
And, it just shows kind of another side of this country, which, anybody who's watched enough TV and movies will be well aware of, that this country does have that kind of dark, sleazy kind of, mind and underbelly, I can't even think the right word for it, but, yeah, totally. Love it. And yeah, I think again, just see like the insane body count and all of that helps. I think maybe without that, it would, it'd be harder to just, anybody who's into horror and especially into slashers kind of in more than a passing sense, I think is going to really enjoy this. I'd be surprised if they didn't,
It would be great. I would even sacrifice some of the kills just for more of that opening disco sequence.
Oh, me too, man. Totally.
But yeah, this is great. A film that reminded me of it, and it reminded me of it. Some kind of a loop there happened in my brain. A movie that Vinegar Syndrome recently put out called Unmasked Part 25. It is a slasher parody. And it's so British, it hurts.
Ooh.
But yeah, it is very, very, very tongue-in-cheek cornball, but it's very fourth wall breaking.
Nice.
And that might be a deal breaker for some folks. But just the way it plays, I think would be a good companion piece with this. I wish it was a Christmas movie. But yeah. I was watching the DVD that Brad sent me years ago for another Christmas slasher, although there's not a lot of Christmas content, but it's in there, which is The Dorm That Dripped Blood.
Yes, and you're going to say that.
That is one of the, and I just thought of it when we were talking about the image quality. That is one of the hardest frickin' DVDs to watch, because that is not a colorful film, and the print they found is a wreck. It is like pulsing. The color is like fading as you're watching it. Like,
oh boy.
It looks so awful. And it's like one of those movies that I like it a lot, but it really bums me out watching it because that's the best they could do at the time.
Yeah, there's, and this actually might be the only version I've seen. I'm trying to remember who put out the Blu-ray, because I can imagine there's so much of it is so dark. There are some, nighttime scenes, but, yeah, who was this?
Synapse.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So I definitely was not watching the Synapse Blu-ray. I was watching the old DVD.
Right.
Excuse me. The old DVD, and
yeah, I can imagine, like you say, on those old DVDs. God, yeah, it's the sort of thing that will probably give me a headache, especially if you're having a few drinks watching it or something. Yeah. But it has, like you said, the Christmas sort of trimmings and all of that. They're kind of minimal, but it has kind of a interesting look to it. It's very kind of cold and blue, not like teal, maybe like darker than that. I don't know, but yeah, it has an atmosphere I really like. But yeah, that's for another time, I think.
I should probably upgrade this bad. Hell, we could cover it next time. Yeah. Well, Simon, I'm going to wish you a happy Christmas.
Oh, thank you. Right back at you.
Although I know that you celebrate Hogmas and you're a big Hogfather guy. That's just how you are. That's how you roll. And listeners at home, thank you so much for joining us yet again in another holiday seasoning. Hopefully you celebrate Doom Show Day.
Yeah.
Which is basically you just talk about stuff shoved up my butt. It's getting crowded up there.
Oh, Christmas tree as well.
It's a holly jolly Christmas. Ooh. Anyway, we need to stop recording. Bye, folks.
Bye.
Hello, This is the Doomed Show is a proud member of the Legion Podcast Network. Please check out the other shows at legionpodcasts.com. If you want more of Hello, This is the Doomed Show, check out doomedmoviethon.com or hellodoomedshow.podomatic.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at doomedmoviethon or email the show doomedmoviethon@gmail.com. We're also in the air. Look up.
If you enjoyed this show, then make sure you check out the other great shows on the Legion Podcast Network, like Cinema Psyops, Cinema Beef, Devour the Podcast, Duncan and Bo Come Correct, Exploding Heads Horror Movie Podcast, Friday the 13th, Get Slayed, The Hellming Power Hour, Hello, This is the Doom Show, Hero Hero Go Show, Kill the Cast, Underwater Kaiju from Outer Space, Jerry Hates Action, Legion After Dark, Mental Health, Obsessive Cinema, Discourse, Pick 6 Movies, the podcast by The Cemetery, the podcast on Haunted Hill, the Psychosemantic Podcast, Rick Radio, House of Wax, Dude Looks Like the 80s, Rabbit and Red Radio, the Shadecast, Short Bus Cinema, 2 Drink Minimum Commentaries, the VD Clinic, Who Will Survive Horror Podcast, and Witch vs. the Doomsday Clock. With such a wide spread of shows, there is guaranteed to be a niche for you to fall in love with. Horror, politics, movies, books, sex, music, commentaries, health, video games, kaiju, action, news, comedy, and opinions that would most likely get you killed in some parts of the world. We are proud to bring you some of the best podcasting in the world. Check us out at www.legionpodcast.com, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, and any other dark corner of the internet where podcasts can be found.